Good afternoon, it's Robert and Julia Miller with the J. Patel Group and Rethink Real Estate with another exciting real estate update.
There you go.
Thank you.
We match.
Yeah. Got the memo.
Hello, hello.
Another week and another week closer to vacation.
Yes. So while we're on that subject, we probably won't do a weekly update for 2 weeks. Unless I can convince Robert to go live next week. If so, if we decide to do that, we will put it out on Facebook and social medias and do a post about that in advance. But it's not looking like it's going to happen. We're much better pre-recorded.
All right. You got a joke for us?
Episode 78.
Oh, that's right.
Don't
Episode
forget
78.
to like and subscribe. We kind of raised a
Please
few
do.
questions last week that we're going to clear up this week. Look at what changes are coming to the market. And in order to do that, we need to kind of look at what's going on in the market right now. So, yeah.
Do a joke, a little history. We had the Cromford report review, so we're going to cover that pretty extensively. So we'll try to keep things moving so this isn't too long.
Right.
So
right.
lay a joke on us.
Well, what do you call a depressed strawberry? A blueberry.
Oh, man. I gotta hide that dad joke. Okay. I thought this was pretty funny and pretty timely.
Oh, okay.
I would have paid money to see Judge Judy handle the Johnny Depp Amber Heard case.
Yes. Yes.
That
So-
would have been hilarious.
so true.
Oh my gosh.
She'd have been
I would
like,
love that.
what? And you were, and he was,
You people are messed up. I'm gonna find you both.
we really only watch Judge Judy when my mom's over, because mom likes Judge Judy. But
All right.
anyway.
Moving on, a little bit of history this week.
Oh, yes. Maybe I had some good history this week.
Yeah, pretty good.
Yeah.
All right, 1998, after 9 seasons, the final episode of Seinfeld airs May 14th on NBC. Remember that?
Yes. We were all so sad, but then we were like, well, we got reruns.
Yeah.
So.
Do you remember what happened in the last episode?
I don't.
They got all sent to prison for failure to the Good Samaritan law.
What?
They were, instead of helping a guy getting kidnapped, they were joking about how hard it is to kidnap fat people.
Oh, gosh.
And then they went
Wow.
to a whole, it was a pretty good episode. All right, moving on. 1962, on May 9th, scientists bounce a laser beam off the moon.
So this begs the question, what do scientists do when they're bored?
Mm-hmm.
And then they do it and they're like, wait a minute, this is a thing. We need to call someone.
It's like that episode of The Big Bang Theory where they bounce a laser beam or they turn on a light. They turn on a light
Right.
from all the way around the world. It hits all these satellites, comes back on, and then the light comes on.
Right.
And the girls are like, okay.
Okay.
Why didn't you just use the switch?
Right.
Okay, 1959, on May 8th, Michigan's Mike and Marion Ilch opened the first Little Caesars Pizza.
Pizza.
Pizza. 1914, on May 8th, U.S. Congress declares the second Sunday in May as Mother's Day. I wonder if that was a unanimous vote, or there was some Scrooge who said, I
would
abstain.
hope not.
I abstain from this vote.
Wait a minute, I just wanted to make a note. I don't know how many Little Caesars pizzas I ate in my 20s. $5 pizzas, by the way.
Oh, yeah, the $5
Oh,
Little
man.
Caesar pizza. Yeah.
Yep.
All right, 1910, May 11th, Montana's Glacier National Park opens.
And how many glaciers are there in Montana's Glacier National
Believe it or
Park?
not, there are 24 active glaciers.
That is amazing. I
Yeah.
would have never guessed,
I would have
honestly.
thought there's 0,
Yeah.
but there's
Speaking
actually
of glaciers.
24.
We're going to go see some glaciers.
That's right. I can't wait. 1958, Minnesota becomes the 32nd U.S. state on May 11th.
Yay!
Finally,
And it's still as cold as ever there.
finally, 1643, Louis XIV becomes King of France May 14th at the age of 4.
What the heck?
No pressure, kid.
Wow.
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 The monarchy.
All right, let's talk regular news, and then we'll get into some of the Cromford report details and
All right.
summary.
Let's move along. A little economic
Okay.
news. Wholesale used vehicle prices fell 1% in April and are down 6.4% since a record high set in January.
Now, we had to figure out what the heck this
Why
was all
all
about.
of a sudden
Yeah.
it seemed like they were in such high demand, and what happened? It's
The answer?
gas prices.
Gas
Gas
prices.
prices go up, so people are now looking for more economical, i.e. electric
Fuel efficient.
or hybrid,
or
fuel efficient
non-reliant
vehicles.
on
So
fuel.
they're moving more towards new car purchases, and there's some relief on the supply chain issues brought on by the pandemic to the automakers. So they're now
Right.
able to deliver vehicles at a faster clip. So
Yeah, it was all that chip, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that was a good portion of
Good
it. There was
portion
other
of it,
parts
yeah.
too, but the chip was a big one. So
Okay.
interesting.
Interesting.
Okay, the U.S. economy added 428,000 jobs in April, an
Wow.
increasingly tight labor market despite surging inflation and fears of a growth slowdown. Average hourly earnings continue to grow, but still below the pace of inflation. That, according
Yeah.
to CNBC. Both of those articles were CNBC.
Still outpacing. Inflation is still outpacing the job numbers, unfortunately.
Yep. Inventory is up, and we'll go over local numbers. They are also up. Excuse me. Rising interest rates and all-time high listing prices have moderated demand for homes, leading to slight inventory improvements despite a lack of growth in new listings. Spring home buying activity remains elevated, but is expected to be less competitive than last year. So that's good news for you planning on buying a home over the summer. That, according to Realtor.com.
So that's a national report. We've got some more local reports to go over too. So
Right. Affordability is alarming. Mortgage rates just hit their highest level since 2009. Home prices continue double-digit gains, and affordability is near its worst point on record.
yeah,
As of April 21st, it takes 32.5% of the median income to cover the median monthly payment, just slightly lower than the highest on record, which was back at the bubble in July 2006. That was at 34%. So we're almost all the way back to that.
and I've along those lines, I've got an interesting video to share with you if you're interested about debt to income ratios and how lenders figure that out. And that's kind of alludes to that. Well, if your mortgage is going to take up 32.5% of your income, where does that leave you? So, and Kelly Zitlow of Keller Mortgage does an amazing job of kind of going over that. And she has a whiteboard, and it's great. So I just watched that today. So I will share that along with in the description below.
Okay. Is that a segue into what you're doing, or do you want me to finish regulatory
No,
news?
go ahead and finish. You got one more story there.
For regulatory news, just one thing. Merciless mortgage mix, rising interest rates, and elevated prices have caused sales of new homes to drop, tightening the mortgage market for banks and credit unions. Home prices rose 2.2% in February from January and 20% year over year. That, according to American Banker.
I will segue with that on this little side note that I had. We're seeing lenders kind of get creative with the builder side, builder lenders getting creative with programs like Save the Lock is what one builder calls it. I'm not going to tell you who because I want you to call me or email me.
A little hook there.
A little hook. But they will lock in your rate for up to 180 days. Now, if you're doing a new build, Those build times are 10 to 14 months or 12 to 14 months, we're hearing.
And I'm wondering, with demand slowing because of higher interest rate and higher prices, if builders may need to look for incentives, competitive edge tools, and maybe they lock in the rate for the entire build time?
I don't know if they can do that. I don't know, with interest rates, rising, and we've got the Fed saying, hey, it's going to keep rising. I don't know if they're going to do that.
Rate increases.
However, 180 days, if you're looking at a spec home, and it's going to be done by, you said November, that's 6 months from now, then you're golden. You can lock in today's rate, so even if it goes up 1%, between now and November,
which at the pace
golden.
it's going, it probably will. It's
Yeah.
ticking up every single week. So
Yeah. So, we had the leveling off for about a week, 10 days, and then the Fed's raised again. So that's
went
over.
right back up,
That's over. Now, to counterbalance that, on the resale side, I do also have a lender that is doing a lock and shop program. So what that means is that normally when you're shopping for a new home, you have to actually make the purchase. So you have to have the home under contract before they'll lock your rate and be approved. And they'll say, okay, now we can go ahead and lock in your rate. Now, this particular lender, and again, I'm not going to tell you, I want you to call me or email me. But this particular lender will do a lock and shop. So he'll lock you. It's probably got to get you fully approved. But he'll allow you to shop, and maybe it will take you 30 to 60 days to find the right home.
And then you have your
because
escrow
inventory
period.
is a little sketchy sometimes.
Yeah.
And you're already locked in at this rate. So
Awesome.
these are really great programs that I'm seeing come out. Also, to clarify, we had talked about ARMS last week, which is the adjustable rate mortgage. I had a lender clarify to me that these aren't subprime, and I don't know if we clarified that last week. They're not subprime like they were back in the day. They're at today's interest rate, and then they index to the current rate at the end of 7 years. In this particular case, these ARMs are 7-year ARMs. So in 7 years, it will index to whatever that is. But at least it stops you right now, again, at today's rate versus... going up.
Doesn't it index every year? The life of the loan is 7 years.
Right.
And I think it indexes every year, but it only indexes to the current rate.
Oops, now you did it. Now my phone's making noises.
Sorry about that.
It says, I locked, okay, that's just for 7 years, then adjust to index and margin.
Okay. It's fixed for 7 years.
Yeah.
Wow. No wonder they're so popular right now. Yeah.
So that's a good option, and that was our biggest thing, was making sure that, they weren't subprime.
Right.
Because that's
quality loans. They're not crap loans.
Yeah, it set people up for failure, basically.
Yep.
So,
all right.
To kind of summarize the Cromford report that I sat in on yesterday morning, affordability definitely, with Tina Tamboer, sorry.
Of the Cromford report.
Cromford report, yep. Affordability, and I just sampled one of the first ones that she was going over for a 1,500 square foot home to up to 2,000 square foot. It's up 26%, April to April.
Wowzer.
Yeah, a lot of these numbers are April. If they're not April, I will point it out. But most of them are April. Interest rates up about 25%. That adds $1,000 to your mortgage.
I like that matrix of how it actually affects the consumer.
Right.
It tells you, what does this mean to my pocketbook? Well, it means that it's $1,000 in 1 year.
Which means your mortgage is $2,800 a month on average. To contrast, rental rate for the same size home is up $550 a month.
That's a lot too.
That's a lot, and that makes a median price per month at $2,250 per month.
And that's 100% interest rate.
Man.
Because it's rental, so that money's gone.
So currently for May to May, the median home price is up 5.7%. She said general unease. Basically, that's kind of what we're all feeling. We're all feeling things are a little uncomfortable. We don't know what tomorrow's going to bring.
Out of control. And,
yeah. 250,000 homes are actually needed to help balance how many people, the demand, basically, balance the demand. Because the numbers that they were quoting were 250 people per day.
The latest that I got was 69 a day. It's actually 250 per day.
Think of all the industry that's opening up here in the valley. We are growing like crazy right now. We've got to get more homes built, and the rent to build is definitely a part of that.
I trekked down from Surprise Desert Oasis all the way down Happy Valley into our neck of the woods. You can now take Happy Valley all the way to Desert Oasis. And there is community after community after community just getting set in place. They're doing building the walls and building the streets, and it's just like community after community after community after community all the way down Happy Valley.
Wow.
Unbelievable.
Now, one other thing that is something to note and something to watch, there's a 23% increase in rentals in the MLS. This is significant because we're seeing days on market of rentals sitting there a little longer. And as a result, kind of to back up, but landlords don't put homes in the MLS unless they're sitting longer.
Right.
They're saying, well, I'm not quite getting what I want, listing it on my own, listing it on, for sale by owner, for rent by owner, or Zillow, or wherever else they put it, rent.com. So they're putting it on the MLS. So that alone tells us that things are taking a little longer for landlords to get the price that they want.
Don't you feel like rentals have kind of hit a affordability cap where it's just beyond people's means?
Well, that's interesting that you say it like that, because the asking price versus closed price, 38% were closing under the asking price. So that's pretty high, actually. So don't feel like you can't negotiate that list price. We're seeing them being negotiated, We're
good
seeing
news for those that are in a must-rent situation. So
right. We're seeing landlords accept 2 tenants versus just 1, because they know, okay, to get my higher rate that I want, I'm going to have to accept 2 tenants. And in the situation that she described, Tina Tamboer, she described the landlord not only accepted another tenant, but also her cat. He didn't want to accept animals, and probably not cats, because cats always have a bad rap when it comes to rentals. But that's so don't be afraid to ask. And if you're having problems finding rentals on your own, then definitely contact us. We can definitely help you with those as well.
Yeah, we can do some research for you.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go to new listings. We're definitely seeing a slowing, but we've got inventory numbers dropping. Contract ratios are dropping, and new listings are still coming on the market. Although, even though there's a drop of buyers due to those interest rates rising, we have an increase in listings, and has started.
Well, that makes sense. We have less buyers. We're going to see more listings. So.
Yep. We're still in a frenzied market. We've moved from insanity to frenzied. It's still chaos.
I guess that's in the right direction.
Right. Another thing that we're seeing is median price reductions. So sellers are reducing their prices some.
Haven't heard that word in a while.
The median price reduction is $13,000 in the price point of $400,000 to $500,000. That's up 71% in 3 weeks.
Yeah, we didn't hear that word price reduction for many months.
For a long time now, and now we're seeing them. Not all sellers are. Some of them are getting over asking price that they start out with, but not all, you know. So, let's see. Normal index for the Cromford Supply Index is, or a normal number is 100. So 100 is right
So
in the
you
middle,
use that as
basically.
the base point. Okay.
Yeah. Peoria is at 82.5% in supply. So we're 18% below the demand. And I believe this number is
Surprise,
yeah, is at 28%.
Wow.
So 72% below demand, unfortunately. Also of note, usually our slowdown starts this time of year, like April, May. We kind of see this, most people after spring break figure out where they're going. So then things start to kind of taper
Sometimes
off.
it lingers into summer when the market's inventory is low and they have to spend more time searching. So
Right.
we have seen it stretched out into summer, but historically,
This year
April,
it
May.
started late January and early February.
wow.
And that's why we're seeing some of those numbers go up, right? So, all right. So, in summary, let me give you some median numbers here. Our median home price for April was $470,000.
That's crazy.
462 was for March, so we're up.
So up 8,000
Yeah.
in just 1 month.
Up 47. Well, appreciation is 42. I'm sorry, 24. I'll slow down. 24.4% for
That's
April.
Really high.
Yeah.
And way over the original prediction of what they thought was going to happen this year.
Right. Sales price over asking price is 57%.
5%.
57%.
Sales price over. The number of homes that were over ask. Got it.
Right,
I'm
that's
sorry.
sold. Yeah, that's sold over
Got
asking.
it.
Yep.
Got it. Sorry.
Which is equivalent to $20,000.
That's a lot of coin.
Yeah. Sales price to list price ratio then is 101.8%.
Remember how wild it was the first time it went over 100%?
Yeah.
We were going, oh my
my
gosh.
gosh.
Now it's just routinely.
It's routine, yeah. And in fact, so far for May, we're at 102.5%.
Yeah. So when they ask, well, what should we offer for a home? Well, you should probably start at 102.5% because that's the current
Right.
over
Right.
list price.
Go ahead and take the list price and add 2.5% to it. Days on market are very low still. 7 days on average,
Yeah, and that's a key indicator. So
Yep. We talked about rentals being up. There are a couple measures that kind of have to line up or that we've seen in line before sales prices measures respond. List price weekly reductions, we have that.
we just talked about.
That's the one thing of the other three measures that aren't doing it. Days on market prior to contract, those will have to increase
7 days
before we
is
see prices
nothing.
respond.
Yeah.
Sales with seller concessions, they don't happen. There's non-existent right now.
Right. Buyers are still making all the concessions. So.
Yeah. We talked a little bit last week about foreclosures and delinquencies. So to give you the number for April, how many foreclosures there were in the valley? Drum roll, please. There were 21
Wow.
throughout the whole, and this is Maricopa and Pinal County. So
21.
that's not, don't get excited.
If you're waiting for a flood of foreclosures, you're going to be waiting a long
you're
time.
gonna wait a while,
'cause
yeah.
It's not going to happen.
To summarize her report, I really liked this. What's normal anymore? And we talked about the paradigm shift and how things have to change. Our definition of normal has to change. Over the past 21 years, Greater Phoenix area has been in a buyer's market 3.6 years.
So that would have been right after the bubble, right?
Probably.
Okay.
A balanced market, 4.6 years. And then a seller's market for a total of 13 years. Whew. So the longer seller markets last, the more human beings change their definition of what normal looks and feels like.
Yeah, this is becoming more and more like
Yeah.
This is the
is
standard.
normal.
This is where the bar is. So.
Yeah.
All right. Awesome report. Thank you.
All right.
Excuse my interruptions.
Sorry for the long-winded.
Well, it's a lot of really good information.
It is a lot of really good information. Yeah.
All right, let's fly through this real quick. Rates, 30-year, again ticked up 5.317 to 5.544. 15-year, 4.496. That ticked up slightly to 4.589.
Yeah.
And VA went from 5.003 up to 5.189.
Rates are going up, folks.
Inventory does continue to tick up slightly every week. It was 6,618. It's now at 6,895. Peoria, a little closer to home, 195,000. Now over 200 at 217. Surprise was exactly the same, 231.
Wow.
But that is a real moving target there because all of that new construction getting built over there, a lot of it gets put into the MLS and then taken out and it jumping in and out. So that one's kind of hard to follow. A little closer to home, Trilogy at Estancia has 18 homes available. Most affordable, 489,000. The most expensive, 1,450,000. And there are 4 homes listed over $1 million.
Wow.
So Trilogy keeps getting into that elite category.
So what I have to say about that is, if you're looking for something 500,000 or less, jump on some of these ones because before too long, they're not going to be under 500,000 anymore.
Right, exactly.
So.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be long before, if you have a home in Trilogy on the golf course, it's going to be $1 million.
Well, if you have a home in Trilogy, even some of the smaller models, it's going to be 600,000 before too long.
Yeah, that's an interior lot in some cases,
So.
and some of these that are really nicely updated and really great landscaping and larger lots, you're in the 800,000 range.
800,000 easily.
Okay, Blackstone Country. Oh, I'm sorry. Vistancia Village has 15 homes available. 519,000 is the most affordable, if you can believe that. 920,000 is the most expensive. Blackstone Country Club still has 3 homes available. 699,000 the most affordable. 3,200,000 still tops the list. Portobello has 5. Most affordable, 465,000. The most expensive, 1,055,000. Sun City Grand, 22. 397,000 is the most affordable. 1,050,000. That's
We hit it, didn't we?
Yeah,
We
broke that threshold in Sun City Grand. So we'll see. Typically, when we see that happen, the next thing you know, we get like 4 or 5, 6 that show
like,
up
wait a minute.
over $1 million. So.
They hit my money. That's what I want for my house.
I always hear guys, they get the solicitors call people, hey, we'd like to buy your house, and they go, okay, pay me $1 million.
Pay me $1 million.
Pretty soon those solicitors are going to start calling back and go, remember when you said you'd sell me your home for $1 million?
We'll buy it. We'll buy it.
Okay.
I will say one quick thing for that. In this report, with the Cromford report, they had some interesting statistics for how Open Door and OfferPad are doing in the market. Their losses and stuff like that, because those are just released numbers.
Interesting.
It's very interesting.
You want to talk about it next week?
Maybe not next week, but the following week, or the following week after that. June.
Oh.
Yeah. It'll be like June 2nd, I think.
Wait.
May 31st, I think, is the Tuesday.
Okay.
Memorial Day.
The next time we do a report, Julia's going to report on that.
There you go. I'll have to write it down, write myself a note.
Okay.
Back on track. Sun City West.
All right. Sun City West has 53 homes available. 239,500, the most affordable. 839,900 tops the list. And finally, Westbrook Village has 9 homes available. 390,000 is the most affordable. 584,900 is the most expensive.
Is that one of those the patio homes? 390,000.
I didn't check specifically, but I strongly suspect it is.
Those are cute little homes.
They are.
Some of their backyards are a little challenging, but
yeah, they're usually open green spaces, but
Or
Sometime
open green space,
you
yeah.
back like right to the pool, so you can like walk right off your patio
over
and
there.
the pool is right
Yeah.
there, which is kind of cool.
And it's age qualified, so you're probably not gonna have late night partiers,
Yes, yeah.
hopefully. So, anyway, good news, good news.
Yeah, okay, well that's our report for this week. Everybody have a blessed week and a fantastic weekend. I'm loving these mornings. I'm still
Oh,
putting my
it's gorgeous out
fleece
there.
on before I go out because it's 62.
While wearing
Brr.
shorts, so he's putting a fleece
Oh,
on.
I'm Arizonan, man. But
Alaska's gonna feel a little different for us.
yeah, we're gonna enjoyably freeze our butts
We
off.
will, yeah. We're gonna dress like it's winter. I'm sure we'll get teased by the locals.
Yeah, they'll be wearing t-shirts
Yeah,
and
the
we'll
last-
be wearing our hoods, and I'll tell you.
Last time we went, that's what happened. They were all wearing t-shirts and they're like, what, it's fine. Getting rained on, they didn't care. We're like,
yeah.
hot cocoa, do you have any hot cocoa?
Okay, out of control.
Anyway,
We'll let you go, and we will see you again in the near future. Take care.
bye for now.